Hi everyone, this is Helen and welcome to Modern Pepper. So guess what these are? These are shishito peppers on skewers that we grilled on a cast iron skillet. This recipe is super easy to make. So what makes this shishito recipe unique is that we dress the shishito peppers with a very light soy sauce vinaigrette, and we drizzle a little bit of a GoChuJang dressing that we make, and it is super good. So I can't wait to share this recipe with you. Shishito peppers are easy to find. Any Asian grocery stores will carry them, as well as any big produce supermarket should carry them. Especially in the West Coast, they should be available all year round. And in Korean, these are called 꽈리고추. 꽈리 means twisted, and they kind of look a little twisted, not crazy twisted. They kind of look a little twisted, so these are called 꽈리고추, and 꽈리 means twisted, and gochu means peppers. So shishito peppers are generally very mild, and it's sweet, and it's rarely spicy. Once in a blue moon, you might get one out of like, I don't know, a 30 that might be slightly spicy. You could also use serrano peppers. So serrano peppers in Korean is called gochu. If you have difficulty finding shishito peppers, you could certainly use serrano peppers, which you could find at most grocery stores. And this is a great alternative to shishito peppers. Serrano peppers are typically enjoyed raw in Korean cuisine, that you would dip in samjang, which is a bean paste condiment that's slightly spicy and salty. Make sure to check out my video on Korean lettuce wrap, which includes how to make samjang. So these are typically very, very sweet, crispy, a bit more watery than the shishito peppers. But these guys, I would say 1 out of 4 is kind of spicy. And no, that is not based on some research study. It's just based on me eating these. And these are so good with samjang that I could eat like 20 of these. Sometimes when I'm craving crunchy and slightly spicy peppers, I usually go with the serrano chilies that I would enjoy fresh with the samjang sauce. So make sure to check out that video because it really sort of satisfies the salty craving that, you know, many of you get, that I get too. And it just kind of curbs my appetite, and then I don't have to resort to having bags of potato chips, which is great. But for today, we're gonna put the serrano chili peppers aside, and we're gonna cook up our shishito peppers that are super duper easy to make. And today we're gonna cook them on a hot skillet, but you could use these to grill it on your outdoor grill, which would be a fantastic barbecue side to include in your next barbecue party. But it is a really good appetizer that's filling, and it's a great alternative to having a salad. So this recipe that I'm going to share with you today is super duper easy. So let's get started. It is very important to pre-soak your skewers in water and have it fully submerged for at least good 10 to 20 minutes. Why? Because if you don't do that, your skewers will burn. So we want to sort of try to hold off on your skewers burning, because we're going to be cooking the peppers on super duper high heat. Especially when you're using your outdoor grill, it is critical that you use skewers that have been completely drenched and soaked in water, unless you're using metal skewers. So make sure to please check out my description box below if you're watching this video on youtube.com, or if you're watching this video on my website at modernpepper.com. Just read through the blog for this particular recipe, and I will have links to all the gadgets that we're using today, including the skewers and the skillet and the instructions and ingredient list, all there for you, conveniently ready when you are ready to make these peppers. So I'm going to take one skewer, and I cut up some onion, kind of relatively thick. And we're gonna add this to our peppers because it will taste really yummy together. It's pretty easy. You just add one. And you know, it's up to you. You could leave the stem on or off. It's up to you. I think it's kind of fun to leave them on so that you could use the stem, pull off each pepper from the skewers. And then I'm gonna add another onion slice and more pepper. Like so. I'm gonna top it off with another onion. So it looks like this. pretty simple. And just repeat the process until you're done with all the shishito peppers. And for the serving size for this, you could make as little as you want or as much as you want. So we're gonna drizzle some olive oil and just put a generous amount. And then we're gonna put some kosher salt. And then we're gonna put some freshly ground black pepper. And then we're gonna turn these over and then repeat the process. And now our skewered shishito peppers are ready to be grilled. It is critical to use a thick skillet, and you need to preheat that to super high heat for at least 3 to 4 minutes. We want that skillet to be piping hot, so when we put these on, we're literally blistering them. Now, if you're using an outdoor grill, make sure it is also set at super high, and we're just gonna do the same as well. We're gonna put this aside. I have a bonus for you. This is shredded cabbage. It's about 2 cups, and what we're gonna do is lightly season this. This will become a coleslaw salad where we're gonna put our cooked shishito peppers on top, add a little bit of soy sauce, dressing that we're gonna make together, and it just becomes an automatic platter of shishito peppers / coleslaw salad that you could put out at your next barbecue party. And certainly you could make this into small portions too. So you could use kosher salt, which will work just as fine. Or this is when you pull out your fancy salt. So if you're using Himalayan salt or black Hawaiian salt, whatever fancy salt you have, this is the time to use it. So I have a little bit of the Himalayan salt, and I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit, just a couple pinches, not a lot, because we're gonna also add our soy sauce dressing that we're gonna make, which is super easy to make, super easy. So this is probably the easiest coleslaw that you can make while you're making the shishito peppers. Put a little bit of freshly ground pepper, just a couple turns here and there, and we're just gonna lightly toss this. I could already smell the salt and the peppers sort of saying hello to each other. It smells so fragrant already. When cabbage is in season, it's so sweet. I mean, you could just take one now and just have one. So sweet and crunchy and just watery, and I don't know, I love fresh vegetables. And then we're gonna take 2 tablespoons of green scallions, just the green part only, and we're just gonna lightly just, spread it around and let it just hang out on top. Like so. So this is all ready. This is just gonna hang out while we cook our shishito pepper. We're gonna quickly make our soy sauce dressing that we're gonna put over our cooked shishito peppers. So this is 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of water, and half a tablespoon of brown rice vinegar, and then have a quick taste. It's so good. It's like the tanginess from the brown rice vinegar, and the soy sauce is just like refreshing without having to be so salty. This is gonna be so good when we put it over our cooked shishito peppers, and then it's gonna also soak through and hang out on our shredded cabbage that we seasoned earlier. It's gonna be so good. Now we're gonna make a second sauce, and this sauce is optional. You don't have to make this, but I think it would be such a nice way to take your shishito peppers to another level of sort of, super yumminess. It's a GoChuJang based sauce that we're just gonna drizzle on top of our shishito peppers. So if you've never heard of GoChuJang, GoChuJang is Korean red pepper paste. You can find these at any Korean grocery store. You can certainly order this on Amazon.com, and I will have links to this along with all the other ingredients and the kitchen gadgets that we're using for this video on my blog at modernpepper.com. So make sure to check it out when you're ready to make it, and you can conveniently order everything online. This is a great staple in Korean cooking. You can use it for so many dishes, and one of my favorite ways is to make glazes and sauces and dressings out of them. So I keep this in my refrigerator and I use it for a very, very long time. And the expiration date on these are very, very long. So I highly recommend getting one and keeping it in your refrigerator and using it for all different sorts of things that we could cook together. So this is 1 tablespoon of gochujang and 1 tablespoon of water, half a teaspoon of brown rice vinegar, half a teaspoon of honey. You could add sugar if you like. For me, I prefer to cook with honey as opposed to white sugar, and that's just a personal preference. I like the taste of it better, and it's kind of good for you to have honey, I think, than to have refined sugar. That is a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. And while I'm mixing this, I want to kindly ask you to please subscribe to my channel by clicking on the subscribe button that is at the very corner of right here on the screen. It's very small, but if you click on it, you could subscribe to my channel that way, and I would greatly appreciate it. And also, if you enjoyed watching this video, please make sure to share this video with your friends or on your social media, and that would mean the world to me, that I could share the love of Korean cuisine and all things yummy with more people. So just mix this up, and I just want to, oh, it smells so good. I'm drooling in my mouth. I know, I drool in my mouth a lot when I'm cooking because everything just smells so good. And that just means that, I guess you're hungry. Yeah, I'm always hungry. One of the most important things in cooking is tasting what you make, because you're eating it, so you have to like what you're eating, not just because someone else likes it. So I'm gonna have a quick taste. Oh, that's good. It's like you feel the heat in the back of your mouth, but then you also taste the sweetness from the honey, and it's not overly sweet like teriyaki sauce or anything like that, but it's subtle. And then the vinegary taste just ties it in nicely together. This is gonna be so pretty and also super delicious to drizzle this over our shishito peppers. Can't wait. Hi everyone. I just want you to know that I'm putting my face over the skillet and I'm also about to burn myself. The skillet is super hot. I preheated for about good 4 to 5 minutes on super high heat. So preheating your skillet at super high temperature is absolutely critical, because we want it so hot so that when we put our shishito peppers on this, we want to see smoke right away. So make sure you turn on your exhaust, open up all the windows and doors in your kitchen so it doesn't set off the smoke alarm, okay? So let's get started. So it's been about a good minute and you can see the smoke rising, and that's when you just want to lift and peek. And look, you want to look for blistering marks like that, and that means it's ready to be turned over. And that goes the same for when you're using an outdoor grill. So we just turned over all the shishito skewers, and just give it another 30 seconds to 60 seconds, and then we're going to take these babies off and put it back on our plate. So look at our shishito skewers that we just took off the grill. It is still very hot. So we're going to quickly take these skewers and place it on top of our shredded and pre-seasoned cabbage. We want the shishito peppers to cool down on top of the cabbage so that it kind of warms up the shredded cabbage that's underneath. And look how pretty that looks already. We're going to take our soy sauce dressing that we made earlier, and we're just going to take spoonfuls and just kind of coat each skewer with it. And the beauty of this dish is the soy sauce dressing is gonna now fall into the shredded cabbage and make that taste really good too. So when your guests come over, this dish could just hang out by itself. The dressing that we made is now just falling into the shredded cabbage, and it's just gonna taste so good. Now onto our Korean GoChuJang dressing that we made that we're gonna drizzle over. You could leave this on the side for people that really can't handle spicy food, but then if that's the case, they shouldn't probably have shishito peppers. I think this GoChuJang dressing will take your ordinary shishito peppers into another dimension of super yumminess. And we're just gonna drizzle it, just like so, going across. And it could just be messy. Look how the redness of the dressing makes this shishito platter super pretty already. And then you could put more or less, but I just like to put just enough so that you can see the color of red, like so, and that's it. Oh, I wish you could smell this. The smokiness of the blistered shishito peppers with the gochujang glaze that we added to it. Oh, it smells so incredible. I wish I could share with you. So look how pretty our platter looks. So this could be a side of vegetable platter that you could put out at your next barbecue party or just for a meal at home, and you can certainly make in smaller portions too. So now it's time for us to taste. Pull out a piece of the onion and the shishito peppers together like so, and have a bite. I'm drooling before I even put it in my mouth. The smell of the shishito peppers is just really incredible. Okay, before I even begin to talk to you about how it tastes, I just have to finish this because it's so good. So there are so many flavors in my mouth right now from the shishito peppers and the onions. And then the gochujang dressing that we added, it's not super spicy where you're like, oh, I can't handle that. But it just adds this depth of creamy and subtle spiciness in the back of your mouth. And of course, the natural juices from the shishito peppers. And then you could taste the olive oil and a little bit of the salt and pepper, and then the soy sauce dressing that we added earlier too. But it's not overly dressed in too many ingredients either. It still tastes very fresh because the soy sauce dressing that we added earlier, it gave a quick coat on top, and then the rest of it just kind of fell through. So the soy sauce taste is very minimal, but the gochujang glaze is just, I can't really describe it. I'm drooling again. It's really so good that you have to give this a try. And we also have to taste the coleslaw that's underneath it. Let's have a quick taste. The cabbage is so sweet to begin with, and then you taste a little bit of that salt that we added earlier, and just a little bit of the gochujang glaze that we just drizzled on top. So it's not an overpowering kind of coleslaw taste, but it's very subtle but super refreshing. I think this would be a super hit at your next party because it's super easy to make, and you get the coleslaw salad underneath it, which is very subtle, low in calories, but yet it has that sort of refreshing coleslaw taste without all the heavy creamy taste that you would normally get in your regular coleslaw salads. So I hope you give this a try. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I would greatly appreciate it if you would click on that thumbs up icon if you're watching this on youtube.com, or if you're watching this on my blog at modernpepper.com. I would greatly appreciate it if you would share this with a friend or two, or also on your social media. I upload new videos every Thursday, and I would love to cook with you again and enjoy making Korean dishes that are easy to follow, as well as making everyday meals using a few Korean ingredients here and there. I would greatly appreciate it if you would click on that subscribe button, which is right there at that corner. Yes, that little pink box that says subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it if you would click on that and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would love to connect with you and cook with you again soon. So until next time, happy shishito skewers eating. Bye now.